Hi everybody, welcome to Clementine Creates. I'm Clementine. We are going to be making small gnomes for your fairy gardens. I noticed that when I was looking through the fabulous gardens that you've made that there weren't too many gnomes around, or they were all kind of that standard yard gnome look, not a lot of personality. So here I go. I am learning as I go here. The one thing that I have not made a lot of is videos, so bear with me. We are going to need air dry clay. Crayola is great. The reason I use air dry clay when I am making new things or things that I'm not really sure if it's going to be my thing or not is it's really inexpensive comparatively to other kinds of clays. And if you're happy with it when you're done, you can paint it using acrylic. So I start off with all of my models with air dry clay, yay Crayola, and then I can move on to other clays if that suits me. So what we're going to do is have fun. One rule, just one. This is supposed to be fun. There are so many people on the internet that take themselves so seriously, and if you passed kindergarten or didn't even go to kindergarten but played with Play-Doh, please harness your inner Play-Doh person right now, because that's really all you need is the freedom to create and have fun. Materials. You are going to need, get the house out of the way, about an 8-inch long piece of air-dried clay. You are going to knead it, and then you're going to make a log. It's about a little thicker than my thumb. You are going to need a sharp object. This is my husband's paring knife. Shh. You're going to need a toothbrush. They come in handy for lots of things. You'd be amazed. I also have paper clips. I like to find new uses for things, and moist wipes. Last thing that you are going to need is please get a jar and put some clay in it, and then you are going to stir it until you get a creamy texture, and that is going to be where you are joined. A kitten is going to be counterproductive to, well, making just about anything because it wants to lick the clay, and that's a no-no. Say hello. I'm Puppet, and I am a foster kitten, and I like to get into art. So come back here, Puppet. What you will see I have done is I have taken the log and I have created two pieces that are about the same size. It's going to be the body and the hat. I have another piece that is going to become arms. Extra because I'm going to need a beard, and I forgot about the head. Once you decide how tall you want your gnome, you need to factor in the head and the hat. The hat is going to be almost as tall. Hat. Okay, now that you've joined all of the pieces, you want to take a good look all the way around at your gnome. If there are any places that you're unhappy with because of the texture, or maybe there's a little crack, just dip your finger into the clay water and slide your finger across it. And that is going to help your finger not to get stuck while you are neatening up any of the edges. I did the same thing when I was attaching the arms, so it doesn't look like he has a backpack on. One of the most important parts to me about my gnomes is that they have a stylish hat. So I kind of like the droopy over the eye look. And this one, I think, at some point is going to have a little emblem on this part. So I want to I am, for my own sake, flattening this part a little bit more so that when he is dry, about 36 hours from now, I will be able to paint on it and have a good solid surface that's not too rounded. The rest of it should be rounded though. And this is hopefully what you will end up with. A very simple air dry clay gnome. Make sure now that as you put your gnome down, put him down. What you just heard was my other one falling because I didn't do this. Hit the table, make sure he's stable because you don't want him falling down in the garden or getting lost, which can happen. At this point, if you want a gnome that is going to stay secure in your garden, you can add a thick piece of wire, or you could even add a paper clip, just unfurl it, stick it in. I am going to leave him without a wire because I think that he is going to sit in the swing that's in my garden. This is one of your best friends, this paper clip, because, for example, if you wanted to keep it totally simple and leave it just as it is, it's perfect. It's perfect however you want it. If you want to create a little bit more detail on the hat, or with, for example, you want to give him something that looks a little bit more like hands, you just press the paper clip into the clay and it creates a little divot, little separation point. Now you're not using it to cut, you're just using it to make a mark so that you have a separation for hands. This one kind of has a natural one on this side, so I'm just going to go with it. Oh no, one hand's smaller than the other. That's okay. Remember, this is for fun. This is for you, for your garden, and it's also the first time you are making one. So give yourself a big pat on the back for trying and investing time in yourself and in your garden to do something that you enjoy. Big important thing that you understand is do not try to paint. You cannot rush the process of drying. If you rush the process of drying, you're going to end up with a moldy gnome, and nobody really wants that. This gnome was made, excuse me, this gnome was made less than 36 hours ago, and he has a few little spots down at the bottom that show me that he's not quite ready to be painted yet. So I'm going to hold off on that. When you do come to the time of painting, which is fun, this is where you get to get really creative, what you're going to, my best friend are these. Work like markers, but they have paint inside. and they are bright, nice colors. If you do not have them, you can get them at almost any big box store or art store. And I would suggest just investing in the 5-pack and using those colors to get started. The next time I see you, we'll be painting. Thank you for spending time with me at Clementine Creates.